all of your support extended to us. Today, I would like to welcome our guest speaker, the resource person of the day, our elite personality, elite physical therapist, Dr. Anil Murugade sir. Dr. Anil sir is currently working as associate professor and head of department in the geriatric physical therapy at Kelly Institute of Physical Therapy, Belgaum. Dr. Anil sir has done their graduation in 2000 and post-graduation in 2006 from Nitta Institute of Physical Therapy, affiliated with the RGUHS, Bangalore. Anil sir has done the doctorate in physical therapy in 2017 from Kelly Institute of Physical Therapy in vestibular rehabilitation. Sir has head of department for the geriatric physical therapy as well as a sports in charge and a member of anti-ragging committee and a vice president of the alumni group, member of the board of studies and working as a deputy external chief superintendent for Kelly Institute, and he has been worked as assistant custodian and in charge for criteria 5 student support and progression committee. Dr. Anil sir has contributed a lot in the research. They have their specialty in the musculoskeletal, they have their specialty in the neurological disorders and having the teaching experience of around more than 15 years and total clinical as well as teaching experience is around 18 years. So we are really honored to have such a senior and expert faculty member with us here to share their expertise on the topic. Sir has been also guided around more than 25 UG and PG student projects on the various research topics. He has contributed a lot in the research in the various journal of international repute. He has around more than 30 publications by their own name and has been invited as a resource person in the various international conferences, had conducted a lot of workshops, especially on the vestibular rehabilitation in the various platforms in the country. So we are really privileged to have an Anil sir with us on the board, and I'm really grateful to you, sir. I would like to extend my sincere gratitude to you and welcome to you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hemant. So for inviting me to talk to on this platform, so which is a wonderful webinar. The physio inculcators for this, and without wasting the iontoporosis in physiotherapy. Am I audible, sir, clearly?
Yes, sir, audible, sir.
Okay. So physiotherapy, iontoporosis in physiotherapy. Okay, so in iontoporosis has been reduced in the recent years as compared to that of the phonophorosis. It reduced for the recent years. So as a physiotherapist, we should use this wonderful. So this is very effective in conditions like hyperhidrosis and the conditions the wounds and calcific tendinitis and all. It is very useful, but the usage in the recent years it has been reduced. The iontoporosis once again in the under the electrotherapy. So iontoporosis, it is a ion. Porosis means it is a transfer. Iontoporosis means introduction of the ions into the body tissue direct using the direct current So iontoporosis is nothing but here the transfer of the ions across the, and it is a painless procedure and sterile and non-invasive or medications which are taken orally or by the injections. There are a lot of side effects. Okay, so like a lot of side effects, safe and painless procedure, and it is very effective and non-invasive. Orally there might be a gastritis problem, or there might be a painful in case of intramuscular injection. Iontoporosis, it is a painless, sterile, non as compared to that of the injections and the medications, and it is even on wound healing. So iontoporosis are basically the iontoporosis is having the effect, the rate at which the ion may be of this iontoporosis is mainly determined by the various factors like concentration solution and molecular size of the solute and current density, duration of the treatment. Concentration of the ion, specific treatment basically ranges between. So how much is the concentration of the ions what you are using for the treatment purpose? So second important factor is the pH of the solution. So pH, if the positively charged ion is there, then the pH is then the pH charged ion is there, then the pH is high. Okay, if the pH is low and high, then only the ion can be transferred. If the or so if doesn't have any ion, okay, then the ion cannot be transferred to the body tissue. Very important. Molecular size of the solute. If the size of the molecule is large, transfer of the ion will be lesser, or the transferred ion may just stick to the electrode. If the size of the molecule or the ion is smaller, then happening very effectively, the transfer of the ion is happening. There are other various factors when, for example, the skin. Okay, how is the skin of the patient? Okay, if the patient age is a geriatric age, then the skin height formed. Okay, the circulation which is reaching to the skin might be lesser. The capillary, which can contribute the pharmacokinetics of the solution. And slides are very important. If the current, I will explain it in detail. So current density, penetration or the transfer of the ions are happening very effectively, and the duration of the treatment, or the most of the study says that around 20 to 30 minutes of the application of the shown the better results. So next, when you talk about this the tissues by positive poles, and then negatively charged ions are derived negative poles. Negative poles. So very important to remember when you are talking ion it is. It is a positive ion or is it the negative ion? If it is a below the positive electrode. If it is a negative ion, the ion has to be the negative ion, it has to be placed just below the negative electrode, depending on the polarity. So you should place the ions just below. Remember. So this is a basic important solution is happening. Okay, for that we need to know the polarity of the ion. So once the ion passes through the skin, free radicals in the blood, thus forming a necessary new compound for a favorable. I'm audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are audible, but sometimes the voice is breaking actually.
So I'll go a little more slower, sir, then.
Okay, please, sir. Thank you, sir.
Network issue, sir. I'll try to go a little more slower.
Okay, sir. No issue, sir.
Okay, so
Actually,
next,
there is some connectivity. I think there is maybe low bandwidth. That time it happens.
okay, sir. In the tissues, when you are talking about the movement of ions in the tissue, the force which act to move the strength of the electrical field and the electrical impedance of the tissue to the current. Electrical field is more or the current density is more, automatically the ion transfer is impedance of the tissues to the current. So in the body tissue, when the ions are getting layers, okay, if the fat layer is more, okay, epidermis, dermis, and the subcutaneous tissue, if the percentage of the fat is more, the impedance, okay, the electrical current, the passage of the electrons or passage of the electrical current will be less. Using the iontophoresis, we use the direct current, okay, unidirectional current, where they explain, few books where they explain. So you can use the medium, better results they say, which is having the better results they say, medium frequency, what are traditionally given to us or by the manufacturers. So generally frequency current, direct currents. Okay, so frequency is between 0 to 100 hertz, and so is there. Okay, and but the few books explain it as a we current, so it is having a better tolerance. So that is the reason the IFT has come into the existence. This is felt with the in medium frequency currents are less, and patient can tolerate frequency currents. So next is the strength of the current density. Basically, the active electrode is the one being used, the one which type of ion you are using. If you are using the positive ion, then positive. Okay, when you are using the negative ion, then negative electrode act as a active electrode. One is active and another one is active. In other words, we can call it as a electrode or inactive electrode or different electrode or indifferent electrodes. So you are using, okay, positive ion, if you are using positive electrode act as a active, negative electrode act as a active electrode. So very important other factors. Okay, very important factor, you can alter the current density between or decreasing the current intensity. So but the current intensity when you are more than 5 milliamperes, Okay, if the increase of the intensity is more, are very common. Okay, so the studies have proven, okay, the studies have proven that very safe to use the iontoporosis. So current density can be the current intensity, which should be around 5 milliamperes or less than that, advisable. And another way of changing the current density just below the electrode, by the size of the electrode is smaller, then the current density will be less, more electrode. Okay, if the size of the electrode is larger, then current density will be lesser, because density will be lesser. So you can change the current density by changing the size of the electrode. So next, strength of the current density should be about the iontoporosis. Always the negative electrode should be larger, because current intensity or current density should be low, because negative electrode or the anode or the cathode just below the electrode. Okay, so alkaline reaction just below the negative, more damage to the skin. There might be a formation of NaOH, sodium. Other side, positive pole or positive electrode side, there might be a acidic reaction, hydrochloric acid. So very important to remember, whenever we are applying, it will be always larger than the positive electrode, because of the damage to the skin, and there might be a chemical burn or to prevent that, the current density can be reduced by increasing the size of the, it should be larger to reduce the current density. So what they say is, the negative electrode, the positive electrode, they say it should be always double than that of the. So current density is generally measured in milliamperes. If the current density reaches too high level, then tissue damage, especially, or it might be a thermal burn, can happen. So that is the reason what they say, 0.5 milliamperes per centimeter square area to 1 milliamperes per the negative electrode, the current density should be 0.5 area, and just below the positive electrode, the current density should be 1 milliamperes. If more than that, then chances of the electrical burns are happening. So next, the quantity of the ions transferred is directly proportional to the following factors. So is directly is a current density at the active electrode, and second one is the duration, third one is concentration of the ions in the solution. Next is a current intensity. So when you are talking about the current intensity, the low currents, okay, low voltage currents appears to have a more effective with the higher intensities. So low amperage or low voltage currents are iontoporosis, low voltage currents. So it is been higher in effective penetration into the tissues. Recommended current ranges between 3 to 5 milliamperes. The intensity should not when you are using the iontoporosis. This iontoporosis intensity current is the formula maximum current which is measured in milliamperes current density into the electrode size. So maximum current is density is measured in milliamperes per square centimeter area and square area. So by this formula, we can calculate the current intensity more than 5 milliamperes. So next we have most commonly for the iontoporosis is 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, 30 minutes to 40 minutes. Maximum is 40 minutes. Few researchers have used up to 40 minutes. 15 to 15 to 20 minutes is a effective way of treating. You are applying the iontoporosis for 20 minutes. Every 3 to 5 minutes, the minutes, the electrode has to be opened and look for the burns. Look for the discomfort. Okay, no reported or visible signs of pain or burning sensation. Treatment duration can be continued up to 20 minutes without removing the electrodes. 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, you reduce the intensity slowly, make it 0 and remove the. And if there are no burns, you can continue with the treatment. Like that, around 3 to 4 times inspected or checked for the any changes or chemical burns. Chances are there when you are looking for the electrodes. Yeah. So next is there is something called as formula for the ion. The iontoporosis formula. This can be calculated using this formula. ECE is equal to grams of substance introduced. Here measured in amperes, T is in time measured in hours, E chemical equivalent represents the standardized figures for ion factors. So it is very difficult to determine the electrochemical to calculate, and then fewer milligrams of these complex substances will penetrate in. With this formula, we can calculate the grams of substance which are inside the body tissue. So with this formula, we can calculate. The formula is ECE. Through this formula, we can calculate the amount of skin. So next is there is something called as electrodes. There are two therapy, traditional or a specific electrodes. the manufacturers give the special electrode or specific electrodes for the ionophores. The specific electrodes are like this. Here in this picture, you can see for the ionophorosis, ion can be introduced in this cavity. The ions can be, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sorry to interrupt you in between. But sir, actually there's a lot of voice breaking
Yes,
is
sir.
there. So can we try rejoining once? Maybe there is some issue being sorted out.
Electrodes are negative, positive electrodes. We can use this for the analgesic effect. So next we have sir, I'll just
Sir, your voice is not.
I'll
Yes, sir.
sir, I'll log in with my mobile. Let me see, sir.
Okay, sir. Please.
Softening of the tissue, which is commonly used for treating the scars and adhesions. And also the ions can be even used for analgesic effect. So next is a positive electrode or positively charged electrodes. We can call it as anode. So here lower concentration of the electrons is present and attracts the negatively charged ions. Positive ions that accumulate at the positive pole produces the alkaline reaction. There is a formation of sodium hydroxide and hardening of the tissue is happening because of the increasing protein density. Whereas in case of negative pole or negative electrode, there was a softening of the hard tissue because of the decreasing in the protein density. So we need to select, there are various different ions, positive ions and negative ions with the indications I have put in this slide. For the inflammation, we can use a hydrocortisone and salicylates. Both are the negative ions to treat the spasm for where the back pain is there because of the back muscle spasm. Okay, so back muscles are very much in spasm. In those cases and all, calcium and magnesium ions can be used. These two ions are of positively charged ions. So for polarity to know, it's very important. To get an analgesic effect, we can use lidocaine and magnesium. For open wounds or open skin lesions, we can use zinc. So as already I told in the previous slides, ionophorosis, even it can be used for the wound healing, okay, for skin lesions. So we can use the ion zinc, which is of positively charged ion, which is of positively charged ions. So next, there are other some other ions which is commonly used for inflammation, that is a hydrocortisone. Already I told this. So there are some more ions which is commonly used for edema purpose. Hyaluronidase, okay, which is a positive ion. Salicylate, a negative ion. Mycolol is a positive ion. For edema control, most commonly used ion is mycolol or hyaluronidase can be used. To scar tissues, chlorine, iodine, and salicylates can be used. All three are of negatively charged ions. For hyperhidrosis, some books have given even ordinary tap water can be used, but it is not that much effective. Along with that, anticholinergic drugs are more beneficial, having the more beneficial effects. The anticholinergic drugs like glycopyrronium bromide can be used for hyperhidrosis. Hyperhidrosis. Next, we have there is something called as contraindications and precautions for iontoporosis. Hello.
Yes, sir. Hello. Yes, sir.
So iontoporosis, when you are so contraindications are like same as that of the low frequency currents. For example, reduced sensations if the patient is having, or loss of sensation we should not use, and pregnancies we should not use. So precautions are very important, and most appropriate ions has to be used for appropriate effect, and appropriate treatment parameters has to be used. For example, treatment intensity and the treatment frequency, what frequencies are commonly used. If the pulsed waveform is used, pulsed current of direct current is used, then what is the pulse width and what is the pulse duration? Very important to select. If you are using the medium frequencies, so what frequencies are commonly used? Very important to select the parameters for the treatment, and don't use the two chemicals under the same electrode even if they are of the same polarity. If the patient is come for some specific treatment, back pain, then don't use the two chemicals, two ions at the same site, which is having a no effect, or there might be some adverse effects. So always use a single ion or a single chemical under one electrode. Always use a single ion under one electrode, and don't administer the ion with opposite polarities during the same treatment sessions. Few of the therapists, they use the two ions at the same time, half treatment with one ion and another positive ion, and then the half treatment with another ion. For example, for pain relief, hydrocortisone is a negative ion and calcium is a positive ion. With half treatment with calcium you can treat, and another half treatment, 10 minutes treatment, can be, you can use the hydrocortisone. If you are doing that, then there might be reversal of the effect. You may not get the actual effect of this both the ions. So don't use the two ions at the single session. If there are two treatment areas, for example, back and the cervical spine, low back pain and the cervical spondylosis, you can use the two ions at a time. That time you can use the two ions with the different polarities. One is positive ion and then another one is the negative ion. These kind of treatment can be used when you are using the two treatment areas. Two ions can be used at a time. You can reduce the treatment duration. Otherwise, for a back, so another 15 to 20 minutes, you are wasting the time. So these are the, other than this, other precautions like reducing the intensity and then slowly removing. Okay, or when you are starting the treatment, intensity knobs and parameters should be, all the parameters should be set. Intensity knob should be at the 0. Those kind of precautions we should take. So other than that, there are something called
Hello. Hello, Anil sir, can you hear me?
Size of the electrode by reducing the current density by reducing the appropriate use of the current intensity less than 5 milliamperes. You can prevent this chemical burn by taking the precautions. If so, by decreasing the current density in the previous slides, already I explained how you can reduce the current densities. So if the burn has happened, chemical burn has happened, it has to be treated with antibiotics and aseptic precautions by taking the aseptic precautions and doing the dressing. So these chemical burns are very difficult to heal. It will take a long time. So all this, whatever burns are happening, it might be a chemical burn or thermal burns which are happened. So they are long to heal. The healing won't happen easily. So very important to remember. So next is there is something called as a thermal burn. So when you're talking about thermal burn, mainly this is because of the high resistance. Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir, you are clearly audible, sir.
Okay. So high resistance. So because of the high resistance, why? Because of why there is high resistance? Maybe because of the poor contact of the electrodes with the skin. Okay, so the electrodes are not moist enough. If the electrodes are not wet properly, which within the solution, then also thermal burns are there. Heat formation can be there. If there is a wrinkles in the gauze or the paper towel or the lint cloth, then also chances of electrical burns because of the increase in the resistance, then chances of thermal burns are there. Then space between the skin and the electrode is more, the gap is more. Okay, then also chances of thermal burns are there. If body weight resting on the top of the electrodes, for example, if you are treating the back and then patient is on prone lying after placement of the electrodes, patient is gone for prone lying, which will compress the capillaries, which will reduce the blood circulation to that area, then chances of thermal burns are there. This is the commonest mistake whenever we are treating with the back pain patient, treating the back pain patient in case of iontoporosis or in case of application of SWD and all. Now, after placement of the electrode, patient will be on prone lying. If it is a prone lying, then chances of reduced blood supply because of the compression of the capillaries by the own body weight can lead to a thermal burns. Very important. And when you use the metal electrodes which are of non-flexible, stiff electrodes are there, anatomical surface areas are not even. Okay, so then the contact between the electrode and the skin surface area is hampered. Okay, so there is a gap in some place, there is a proper contact in some place that can lead to a thermal burn. So next is there is something called as allergic reaction to the ions. When you are talking about allergic reaction to the ions, some patients are allergic to the seafoods, we should not use the iodine. If the patient is sensitive to the metals, then we should not use this copper, zinc, and magnesium. And also we should take precautions like when you are treating the patient with aspirin, then the patient treating the patient with the salicylates, if the patient is having a aspirin allergies, then it may not react properly to the salicylates. If the patient is allergic to the aspirin and all, you should not use the salicylates. If the patient is having a gastritis or peptic ulcers and all, then they poorly react to the hydrocortisone. So then we should not use the cortisone for those kind of patients. Other than this, there are various physiological effects are happening with the application of the iontoporosis. Ion penetration is generally up to 1 millimeter is happening, and there is acid and alkaline reaction is happening. just below the electrodes. And also there is a hyperemia. Hyperemia is because of the vasodilatation and the formation of the heat just below the electrode. Okay, there is a redness of the skin. So hyperemia is happening, and whatever ions are absorbed can be dissociated in the skin, can be dispersed in the skin. It depends on the various factors like capillary circulation, how much it is there, how much the increased blood supply is happening into that area. Okay, what is the age of the patient, how well hydrated that skin is. All these factors can lead to a dissociation or dispersion of the ion is happening. So this is in a brief overview of an iontoporosis. Hope you all understood. I'm really very sorry for the inconvenience. I'm really sorry. If you have any questions, you can put up the questions. Dr. Himanshu sir, you can ask if anybody is having any doubts.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for such a great session on a very much needed topic, and you have delivered great information ahead. We had some difficulty due to some technical problems, so that was actually not in our control. But now we had sorted out everything, and we had a very good session today. So I'm really thankful to all the participants for being such patient with us. And with the permission of the resource person of the day, I would like to ask everyone, if anyone has any query, they can write down in the chat box, so we can entertain the queries. Sir, if you allow, there is one question. Should I narrate it for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yes, sir. The question is like, how do we know that a patient is allergic, or should we go for any investigations?
So generally we won't advise for the investigation, sir, but allergic histories to the drugs has to be taken, sir. When we are talking about the medical history, so during that time, are you allergic to any of the drugs? So we need to ask. For example, patient is having asthma. Okay, so they might have some allergies to few of the drugs. Okay, few of the seafoods. So with asking the allergic history is more than enough. Okay, if when you are applying the iontoporosis after asking the drug history, still there is a chance of some allergic reactions. So we should be very attentive to treat the patient with iontoporosis. But generally, as a physios, we won't advise the investigations, any of the investigations. But with a medical history is enough to take care of the drug allergic reactions or ionic allergic reactions. Hope I'm
yes, sir,
audible.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for a great deliberation on the query. And yes, we are again requesting, if anyone has any query, they can definitely ask by writing into the chat box. So we are really privileged to have very senior. Yes, sir. So there is one more request. Anil sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir,
audible, sir. This is much better, sir.
As, today this was a wonderful session, and we are having a good feedbacks. And because of some technical problems, so there is one more request is arising. Can we have one more session on this topic with the details on a specific condition?
Any questions related to this topic, they can put up, sir. You can ask me, sir. I'm ready to answer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So there's one request that can we plan a re-session with some specific condition while utilizing the iontoporosis in that. As in the previous section, the 50% of the session was some disturbance due to the technical problem. So if you are comfortable in future, near and far future.
Yes, sir, we can use that, but for that technically it has to be done in college, sir.
Okay, so which time?
So, or it has to be done in college and then it has to be recorded, and presently we don't have any UG students.
Okay.
So, but in future, maybe I can do the video of some application of the iontoporosis. It is
Yes, sir.
very simple, sir. Like
Yes, sir.
how we use electrical stimulation. If whoever has put up the question, so only thing is the preparation of the solution. So there is a book called Joseph Kahn. Okay, he has mentioned what ion, what polarity, and how much percentage of solution you have to prepare.
Yes,
You
sir.
prepare the ionic solution according to that, and then just prepare a lint cloth, dip into that solution, and apply it. So I can explain if they are interested. Like for example, for hyperhidrosis,
Yes, sir.
glycopyrronium bromide, you can just take that glycopyrronium bromide, which is a positive ion. Okay, positive ion. So you prepare a solution of glycopyrronium bromide, that is the anticholinergic drug. Okay, so you prepare that 0.5% of solution, and then once you have prepared that, the lint cloth has to be dipped into that solution. If it's a positive electrode, then if positive electrode, just apply that solution, soluted glycopyrronium bromide lint cloth into the positive electrode because it is a positive ion.
Yes,
And
sir.
negative electrode act as a indifferent electrode, and which should be larger because of the chances of formation of NaOH and chemical burn chances are there. To prevent that, that should be larger. Inactive electrode should be larger. You place it at the different area. Okay, and then treat with the glycopyrronium bromide. So for hyperhidrosis, the general way of treating is the active electrode has to be one. There has to be a bathtub like how we use for Faraday foot bath and all. There has to be 2 bathtubs. Okay, the solution has to be prepared, and then you dip the lint cloth into that particular area and into that solution, and then the solution has to be placed on these 2 bathtubs. Okay, so one bathtub should have a ordinary tap water. Okay, and another bathtub should have a glycopyrronium bromide solution, 0.5% solution, and then lint cloth has to be dipped, and then place the electrode just below that, and then place the hand on that. And another bathtub should use it for the foot, and then same thing has to be reversed for the next session, not on the same day. For subsequent sessions, the bathtub, what you are using, active electrode, a glycopyrronium bromide solution, one bathtub, another bathtub, there is a just a normal saline water, just for the conductivity, or tap water. Okay, so then you reverse this, then automatically the hyperhidrosis is treated. Another example for lateral epicondylitis, if you are using hydrocortisone, if you are using, that is a negative electrode. Okay, hydrocortisone percentage, you prepare the hydrocortisone solution and dip the lint cloth into that hydrocortisone solution, and apply this lint cloth to the negative electrode because hydrocortisone is a negative electrode, and place it on the lateral epicondyle. So that is a negative electrode. Positive electrode has to be placed somewhere at the distinct area. Okay, maybe at the shoulder area or cervical spine somewhere. Okay, so you place it and then apply it. The intensity has to be up to 5 milliamperes. Okay, so not more than that. And then slowly increase the intensity, or patient should feel mild tingling sensation, not more than that. Every 5 minutes, you keep checking this electrode, removing the electrode and keep checking the skin. That's how we can treat for the inflammation for lateral epicondylitis. Hydrocortisone can be used, or lidocaine can be used for analgesic effect. But the lidocaine is a positive ion. You have to use it just below the positive electrode. So hope I am able to explain.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? And maybe
Yes,
in a
sir.
subsequent, in future, I will just record a few of the application of the ions to the patient, or when I am teaching the electrotherapy for BPT students, I will just record and then I can put forward to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Even if it is allowed, then we'll try one more session with you, sir, because it was really a very interesting session. And even though you have explained enough and giving a great insight into the practical application of the iontophoresis. There's one question in the chat box, sir. Is it an outdated technique, or is there any some recent recent evidences available to support the iontophoresis?
Sir, even recent articles are also coming up, sir.
Oh.
But what previously they used to use this iontophoresis very effectively. For
Yes,
example, hyperhidrosis, this very effective, sir. And tendinitis, for calcific tendinitis and all, this is very effective. We can use this ions for the specific conditions, not all the conditions, because other conditions are better treated with other modalities. So we need to see, so selection of the electrical modality, one of the important factor when you are treating the case. Any case comes to you, tennis elbow, for example. So your expertise is very much required. Okay, so is it very useful, very effective with either laser, or is it iontophoresis, or is it phonophoresis? If you start using these modalities, okay, on different patients, automatically you will get the results, sir.
yes.
So selection of the modality is very important. So only few conditions can be treated with iontophoresis. So compared to effectively as compared to the other modalities. Not all. There are so many conditions I told in the selection of the ions, so many effects I told. But for spasm and all, if you use calcium, magnesium and all, preparation is so cumbersome, sir. Instead of that, we select the IFT, which is more better effect for the spasm, sir, paraspinal muscle spasm.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So here comes the expertise of the electrotherapy, sir.
Yes, sir.
So instead of using muscle spasm, calcium or magnesium ion, you use IFT, better result. No, sir. No need of this preparation of solution and all. And less time consuming, sir. There are few conditions, as I told, sir, tendinitis, hyperhidrosis, and some of the inflammatory conditions can be used with iontophoresis. So as somebody has put the question, recently the usage of this iontophoresis has gone, sir. But it is a very wonderful therapy. Therapists should keep using this equipment, sir. This modality, iontophoresis technique has to be used, sir, by the physios. It's my personal feeling, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Actually, this was the only motive to arrange this session on this topic only, because we usually might study during graduation, but I think I have never practiced. Might be practiced only 1 or 2 times for iontophoresis. Rather, we are using the phonophoresis very commonly. So,
yes, sir. It's easy, no, sir. Just apply a gel or some of the solution just below the ultrasound head. So here you need to prepare that solution, sir.
yes, sir.
Ionic solution has to be prepared. Lint cloth has to be prepared. It has to be kept properly. So if there is some fault, chances of electrical burn. Direct current itself is one of the major cause for the burn, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chemical burn.
Yes, sir. So there is one more query from my side, if you allow, please.
Yes, sir. Sir, any questions? N number of questions. I am ready, sir. I am free, so I don't have any issues. Even further, some participants have any questions, you can put up. I'll try my level best, sir, for answering those questions.
Sir, actually, I would like to know that as we are using many times the chemical agents like lidocaine and other steroid agents. So, is there any ethical concern to be taken while using these agents for the iontophoresis, or we can use it directly?
So, no
and how do we get the solution?
Sir, ethical clearance is not required because iontophoresis comes under one of the electrotherapy technique. We are taught how to use it. So directly we can use. So no need of ethical clearance. If you are doing it for the research purpose, okay, if you are doing it for the research purpose to know what is more effective or which is more effective for which condition, then if you are using for the research purpose, sure shot, there has to be a ethical clearance, sir. If you are using directly on the patient, already proven ions are there, okay, for specific condition, you can use any of the ions, sir. Ethical clearance is not required for the patients if proven ions are there already. If you want to try which is more better and all for research purpose, ethical clearance is required, sir. Sir, there was some other question also. Can you repeat that?
Sir, how do we get the solution? Actually, is this easily available in the market, or do we specially order it?
Yes. So there are some things like hydrocortisone or lidocaines are available, sir. But magnesium and calcium and even the zinc and all are available, sir. So we need to order it, sir.
Okay, so they are available in liquid form itself.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This Jalocaine, lidocaine, it's a local anesthetic, sir. It is in the liquid form.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But hydrocortisone, injectable hydrocortisone can be used here.
Yes, sir. It is a hydrocortisone which comes in a vial. So we need to read that ampoule, what it is there, what it is written, how much percentage of the ion is there in that. So you need to prepare the solution. For example, if you are using the hydrocortisone, what they say is 1% ointment or 1% solution we need to prepare, sir. Hydrocortisone if you are using it.
Yes, sir.
So if 1% solution you make it through the hydrocortisone and use it directly on the patient. If it is an ointment form, then it becomes a little difficult, sir. If it is in a solution form, we have to prepare that 1% solution. I told no, so from 0.1 to up to 20% solutions we need to prepare. Depending on the ion concentration is very important. So here only 0.1%, up to 1% they say. Books have said that hydrocortisone, 1% solution or 1% ointment, if it is there, directly you can use. If it is not available, then we have to make 1% solutions of hydrocortisone. Then you use. So most of the ions are available in pharmacology, pharmacy college and all. No, so they get a lot of ions, sir. They buy for experiment purpose. So most of these ions can be available in pharmacy college, sir.
Yes, sir.
So they can contact there, and then few of the things are available in a pharmacy only, like lidocaine and hydrocortisone and all. Directly we can buy from there, and then directly we can apply.
Oh. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for a great deliberation and really much practical information, though. And we really want that this technique has to be utilized. I think always something is better than nothing. So if we'll do practice with the iontophoresis, maybe having some much better effect rather than not using it. So
we have used, sir, in our hospital we have used for inflammation and one for calcific tendinitis and all, bursitis and tendinitis and all. So it is very useful, sir.
So thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot for sharing even your personal experience about this least practiced technique of the physical therapy, and as it is commonly used in the dermatology, and it is again a very good area of physical therapy where we have a lot of scope to do. So thanks a lot, sir, for such a great deliberation, and we are really much more thankful to all the participants, senior faculty members, Jitan Munjal sir, Dr. Kalpana Jutsi ma'am, for always supporting and blessing us. Really much thankful to my teacher and mentor, Dr. Harsh Rajdeep sir, Charu Sharma ma'am from the Washington, USA, and senior physical therapist, Dr. Amita Anup Sharma ma'am, joining us long away from the Saudi Arabia, and numerous other physical therapists, and our resource person, Dr. Jubin Kamran ma'am also, and previously Dr. Uma Sen Gupta ma'am also joins us for this great session. So we are really grateful for you all so that you spared your precious time to join us and to support us. Really thankful to you, and hope we had created some learning in this session. And again, sorry for some technical problem. It may happen sometimes, and this is actually, we can say, like it is our impairment in the technical era, that it sometimes happens. And okay, we had done it at the end, till the end actually. So thanking you all for being such patience with us and always supporting and motivating us. And thanks from the core of my heart to the resource person of the day, Anil sir, for being so cool while having a lot of problems. Still managed very well with it and had explored this technique, which is even not practiced in the many more setups. So thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for a great deliberation, exploring the new avenues, not actually new, but new for us as we are not practicing it. So thank you very much.
Yes.
And again, thanks to all the participants. And tomorrow we'll meet again at the 9 p.m. to again have a great insight with a great resource person and a very senior faculty member with us to discuss about the NHM guidelines on the developmental delay child. So please stay tuned, stay safe. We'll meet again tomorrow at 9 p.m. And thank you, sir. Thanks, Anil
Yes, sir.
sir,
Himanshu,
for
sir.
such a great
Yes, sir.
deliberation.
Himanshu, sir. I would like to thank everyone for patient hearing.
Yes,
Still, I don't know how many people are online. I don't know how many have left. I'm really sorry for this technical issues. Some
No, sir. It
line problem
It's okay, sir. Actually, it
issues.
happens, and still
Okay,
we
sir.
can see that 50% attendance is still now available here up to the end of the question answer session. So usually before the
Okay.
as we start the question answer, at least 10 to 20% participant leave, though they may not have any questions. So if 90% attendance is there up to the starting of question answer, so this is 100%. We are maintaining 50%. So I would say this is the 80% for us because still we had a lot of technical issue and many of the participants also has a technical issue. So it was a great great attendance, and this is just because of the aura of the talk, and the session was really very informative and highly enthusiastic. So everyone was attending and joining us regularly.
Yes, sir. Thank you all the participants for patience hearing. Okay, in relation to this particular topic, anybody is having any questions, you can put up direct questions to me on my mail. My number is with Himanshu sir,
Yes,
and my email ID is with Himanshu sir. You can put up a mail or you can WhatsApp me. So hope
Yeah.
I'll be clearing all your doubts on this particular topic. And it is not actually a new technique, sir. It is very old technique. But recently we are not using, physios are not using this particular technique. So as I told, few conditions are, it is very effective, sir, hydroporosis. And thank you everyone for patience hearing, and hope I have done the justice to my topic. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you all the participants. We'll meet again tomorrow. Stay safe. Stay tuned. Good night. Take care.